Hey guys, it's Nicole, and today I have a video featuring die cuts from Cheeky Studio. Today I decided that I wanted to play around with the Pandemonium collection. Tuesday Hubbard had sent me the Panda die cuts, the Pandemonium sequins, and the flare. And I originally thought I was going to end up using the sequins, but sort of during the process of putting the layout together, I ended up kind of going more simple than what I originally was planning on doing. It was mostly because every time I went to try to do something, technology was just not working for me. Between my photo printer deciding that it just did not want to print anything, and my sort of basic printer was having issues with the black ink. My Silhouette decided that it wanted to cut my title all weird. It was just not a good technology thing for me for the last few days. So this video was originally supposed to go up yesterday, being Saturday. Typically every month for Cheeky Studio, everybody on the design team kind of does two projects a month, sometimes more, and for Cheeky Studio I'm kind of, I guess, the double page girl. So twice a month I will be doing a double page layout featuring products from Cheeky Studio. So again, I'm using the Pandemonium ones, and when I first saw them and when she sent them to me, I was just drawn to that poor tired, worn out looking panda who is just crashed out on his back, and it just kind of reminded me of all of the random photos that I have taken of my daughter. She, right about maybe a year and a half ago, when her older brother started kindergarten, we kind of had to cut out her afternoon nap, which is this photo that I'm cutting here of her passed out in the stroller. Typically she would be taking a nap, early afternoon. Well, that was about the time that we needed to be at the school picking her brother up. So I kind of had to basically wean her off of her nap, and ever since then, this kid she's too much like her dad. Like, she will fall asleep pretty much anywhere if she's at that point. So a couple times a week I can typically find her passed out on the couch or the chair, some Kindle on top of her face, pretty much mid-activity of whatever was going on. Couple months ago, I at one point was trying to check out at Walmart, and I looked down and she was passed out in the shopping cart. So I just kind of knew in the back of my mind that eventually I was going to kind of do a sort of photo collage style layout eventually of all these photos of her falling asleep. And when I saw the poor tired little panda, these photos kind of came to mind. And then because I'm matching up, die cuts that Cheeky Studio has created and cut out and manufactured and stuff, they're not necessarily designed to coordinate with like a paper collection. Like when you get die cuts from like Simple Stories or Jelly Bean Soup, like their die cuts are geared to match their specific collections. So what's nice about the Cheeky Studio ones is they're not necessarily designed to go with anything specific, so you can kind of go pretty much any way that you want to go. And I've noticed that the other girls on the design team, I think almost everybody has used these pandas. For whatever reason, everybody has just been obsessed with these cute little pandas. And I have just been fascinated watching the sneak peeks coming out and the process videos coming out of how everybody else is kind of using them. And I think that it's just amazing to see like different styles, different paper lines, clean and simple to more mixed media, all using these cute little pandas. So for me, I just kind of went through my paper stash, and it took me probably 4 or 5 different manufacturers before I finally went to my my giant hoard of My Mind's Eye papers. They are sort of my be-all, end-all, like when they had the good stuff out. Not necessarily like the stuff they've had lately, but the collectible era, the Stella and ooh, that's gonna bug me. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I just kind of pulled a bunch of different patterns that I liked and I felt like would sort of support my theme of the layout. Not necessarily looking for anything that was about sleeping or anything child related. I just kind of went with more feminine patterns and feminine colors because it is photos of my daughter. I've said this in the past, I don't really intentionally match my papers to the colors in my photos. Outside of, I'm not going to use Halloween papers with photos done on Christmas morning or something like that. So I tend to just kind of go with what I like and what I think goes good with the way that the layout feels to me. And then everything else I kept really simple. I just wanted the focus to kind of be on my photos and the fact that this kid will just pass out pretty much anywhere. So I went into the Silhouette online shop and I found this title that just said good at naps. I liked the font. I liked that it was kind of big and bold. And I decided to cut it out of white cardstock and black cardstock to kind of mimic what was going on with the pandas. And then I'm going to kind of do the drop shadow technique where when you put the second layer on, you let a little bit of the lower layer show through, so you just kind of shift it over to the side, and then I put foam adhesive behind the black layer. So it's I just kind of wanted it to have a bigger presence, especially since it is taking up so much of the left side of my layout. And I don't know, I'm kind of weird. I feel like if I'm going to take the time to pull out my Silhouette and cut a bunch of stuff, it better be big and it better be pretty and it better be cute is kind of where I'm at. So at this point I've got my title down and I'm just going to kind of figure out a couple places that I want to put the pandas, and then I grabbed a couple of the little butterflies that were included in the die cut pack, and I'm just going to kind of group everything around my title. And then the one in the lower left, I purposely have him kind of hanging off. I like having elements hanging off. I feel like it does kind of ground them, and it does kind of, I don't know, he just, everywhere I put him, he kind of looked like he was floating. So I decided to do that, and I liked the end result of that. And then in this open area where I just have pattern paper, I decided to put one of the pandas that's looking to the side, and then on all the butterflies, I did take a Wink of Stella pen and just put a little bit of clear shimmer on them. And I did not do any additional stickers, really no other embellishments. I really wanted to keep everything sort of just clean and bright and really have the focus be on these photos, especially because when you first look at it, originally you're just kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on in all of these photos? So I feel like when you kind of take your supplies and go a little bit step back and simplify them a little bit, it can kind of help you, or help your photos, I guess, breathe in a sense. It's not as overwhelming when you've got a bunch of other stuff on it. And then I did pop up part of my journaling, and then I just kind of layered one of the flares on top of that as well. So as always, I appreciate the views. Give me a thumbs up if you like this style, and I will catch you guys later on in the month with another double page layout featuring Cheeky Studio products.